everybody, and welcome back. BJ here from BJ Drinks Beer, and today I've got a few for you from Neck of the Woods Brewing Company from Pitman, New Jersey. It's been a while since I've done a stream, and honestly, I've been very busy with the other channel, and I haven't gotten that many samples lately. That all changed this week. I've got a handful from Neck of the Woods, and then tomorrow I'm thinking about doing a stream. I have a few THC beverages and a mushroom tea that I want to try, but figure I have three beers. I'll do that today, and then I'll do the THC stuff tomorrow. So yeah, first one up. This one is a 5.5% summer IPA, 28 IBUs, and it's called Frankie Card. So we got some stuff to read here. First, crisp and refreshing IPA hopped with Eldorado Cryo, New Zilla, and Rawaka, India Pale Ale. I don't know why they felt the need to put that on there twice, but all right. Frank left the car. Things escalated quickly. Clean, crisp, and ready for wherever the cart takes you. All right, I'm curious as to where the cart is going to take me. Let's get into it. Look. All right. All right. Got that golden straw-like color. Um, got an aggressive pour there, so we got a little bit ahead. I'll get a light behind that in just a second. There we go. There we go. So you can see it's got a little bit of haze to it. Some of that might be condensation on the glass, but yeah, it's definitely got some haze to it. Yeah. All right. Didn't even bother pouring this whole thing because I want to reuse the glass for all the beers that I'm doing because they're all Neck of the Woods beers. But I guess I'll just pour them into another glass and then rinse this one. Whatever. On the nose. Ooh, wow. So definitely has like a kind of earthy, dank note in the aroma, but also, in the front, I'm getting a very citrusy kind of aroma. So, yeah, there's something else in there that I can't really place. But yeah, earthy, dank, citrusy on the nose. Just whoa, almost knocked my beer over. Taking a look at what hops again. Okay, so Eldorado Cryo, that's probably where you're getting that dankness. I'm not familiar with Newzilla and Rawaka. I've had it in some beers, it's been good. I've had it in some beers, it's been terrible. So yeah, we'll see. Let's give it a try. Oh wow. Yeah, minimal bitterness, not nearly as earthy in the flavor as it is in the aroma. Um, Very sweet up front, but not very sweet. It's got a sweetness to it up front. Sweet, citrusy, but that all fades fast. And on the back end, just minimal bitterness, just enough to kind of balance it out. Very light, very crushable. Yeah, excellent flavor for a session IPA. I guess we would call this at 5.5%. Uh, Typically, and I mean 5.5, I mean your usual session is between 4 and 5, and they come off as being very watery, even though the flavor might be excellent. This one comes off a lot more full flavored for having a 5.5 ABV. Um, it doesn't seem very watery at all, but very crushable at the same time. Very, very light on the palate. Yeah, notes of maybe a little bit of orange, mango, something tropical in there, um, in the front. And then, like I said, all that fades quickly into that minimal back end bitterness. The bitterness on the back end does stay with you a little bit. That earthiness, that dankness, it does kind of hang around a little bit, but it's not unbearable. You're not dying for another sip 10 seconds after you take a sip. Yeah, it's got a very nice crispness to it. Well, I pronounced that correctly. Very nice crisp. I'm not going to do it twice in a row. Very nice crispness. Um, Very easy drinking. Excellent flavor. Yeah, I'm very impressed with this one. Very impressed with this one. If you're enjoying this video, let me do that again. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm. Why can't I talk? All right. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is bjdrinksbeer and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. And while you're doing that, why don't you give my other channel a follow? BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. We are a wrestling channel. We're on Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook. If you're a wrestling fan or if you just can't get enough of me, go ahead and check it out. If you've had this one or anything else from Neck of the Woods, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one is currently available at Joe Canals and Marl. Rating. Very enjoyable, very crushable, excellent flavor. The flavor, after the sip, after the mouthful fades, is it's not super dank. It's not, you don't have to reach for another sip right away to to get that sweetness back. What am I even talking about? Um, yeah, light, crushable, excellent flavor. I'm gonna give this one a 4 out of 5. This one, you know, uh, the hop combination isn't the best, and I suspect I'm not familiar with New Zealand, but I suspect it's the Rawaka that's holding it back, if you will. But I don't have too much experience with Rawaka either. I just know that I've had it in some beers and they've been good. I've had it in some, and yeah. But anyway, yeah, 4 out of 5. Um, yeah, maybe a different hop combination. I would absolutely love this, but as it is, 4 out of 5. How do I do this? If you haven't had anything from Neck of the Woods, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. You will not be disappointed. If you're an IPA fan, if you're an IPA fan, Stay in the Car Frank is just absolutely amazing. I could drink it every day. Citra Mosaic Eldorado, I believe, is the hop combination. But either way, yeah, Stay in the Car Frank, you know, classic everyday IPA. Uh, and yeah, their sours are just always crazy good. Oh, been neglecting the comments. Hey, what's up, Joe Hale? Yeah, this is some really good stuff. Um, oh yeah. So yeah, I was just saying they have their sours are really good. They have all kinds of different sours. Their dark stuff is typically pretty good from what I remember. Um, I mean, just pretty much anything you're into, they do it well, if not the best that you've ever had. Whoa, wrong button. Yeah. So if you haven't had from anything from Neck of the Woods from Pittman, New Jersey, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. And if you haven't been to the brewery down in Pittman, New Jersey, I have only stopped in there for a beer real quick one day, and I was hitting a couple other breweries, and I talked to people I was with, and just stopping in for a quick one. So I haven't had too much experience in the place, but I enjoyed myself when I was there. The beer was excellent, and they're attached to like an indoor soccer thing, so they have kind of like a built-in moneymaker. The parents drop off the kids to play soccer, and then kind of come around the corner and have a couple beers while the kids are playing soccer. Uh, so yeah, if you have a kid who plays soccer, bring them wherever that place is, and go around the corner and have a couple beers. Anyway, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. But stay tuned. I'm gonna have a couple more sips of this one, and then I've got two more from Neck of the Woods that I'm gonna try. The next one is a Pilsner that I've had my eye on for quite some time. I just never pulled the trigger on it because honestly, I thought the ABV was a little too low, and I like my Pilsners a little more full flavored. And then the one after that is a an amber ale. So I've had the latter, but the former, like I said, I've always been putting off trying it just because the ABV is 4.2, and I know, and I just don't want it to like be watered down and have good flavor, just be weak. You know, I like a more full flavored pills. Blah blah blah. Anyway, so while I'm not reviewing, I'll just riff here. Went to a really amazing wrestling show on Thursday night down in Wildwood, New Jersey. ISPW Legends of Wrestling. Um, Something terrifying happened though. The storm that was going on was passing through the area, and it went almost in an instant. It went from clear skies to thunder, lightning, tornado warnings, and the convention center where this event was being held has a glass roof. So I went out to, thinking nothing of that. I'm in danger, not thinking anything about the potential danger. I heard the rain and weather, and I just walked out to the big glass like wall to just look out over the ocean and check it out. 'Cause, I mean, there's lightning going off in the distance. It was crazy. And next thing I know, I hear over the loudspeaker, if we could have everyone move to the back of the arena. So they actually kind of just gathered everyone and shoved them into a ballroom. At least that's where I was. I don't know if more of the people in the arena were in other places, but we were all shoved into a ballroom, and there's probably about 200 people in this ballroom, and there's still people coming in. Uh, and it was just crazy. It was a weird vibe, So people were scared. Little kids were scared. It was a weird situation. And then 20 minutes later, just like that, show's back on. Sandman comes out, beats someone up with a cane. It was it was a terrifying experience, but it ended up being an amazing show. So I'm gonna pour the rest of this into another glass and move on. Get to the next one. Be right back. Let's see what I got here. We'll stick with that one. Um, we got more in the chat. Hello, hello. Yeah, we back. Um, yeah, I was just going to set up the next beer there. The next one is a 4.2% American Pilsner, Jaws John. And as you can see, Ryan Jaworski, former legendary Eagles quarterback, now not professional golfer. We have here. This John is smooth, crisp, and refreshing. From the gridiron to the golf course, trust Jaws. This beer is a John worth drinking. All right. So, like I said, my concerns with this one were that it has a very low ABV, and with the lower ABV comes less flavor intensity, and that's what I look for in a Pilsner. So, I've heard nothing but good things about this one. As you can see, I mean, condensation on the glass, but no need to get a light behind it. Not hazy, you wouldn't expect it to be. On the nose, yeah, what you would expect from a Pilsner. You get that upfront breadiness and yeah, a little bit of sweetness. Uh, no sign of back end bitterness or any kind of dankness or anything. Fair enough. All right. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting I'm addressing chat but not putting it on the screen. I'm not very good when it comes to that. Anyway, let's give it a try. Okay. Yeah, so this isn't even what I was afraid of. Like, yeah, it doesn't have the best flavor intensity, but this is more a style of Pilsner that I've found I don't enjoy. See, there is no back end bitterness. There is nothing in this one to stop you from experiencing that sweetness. And you really need something just to cut that sweetness and to keep you coming back for another sip. And with this one, like I'm I'm just tasting that sweetness in my mouth, even this much longer after I've been talking, and it doesn't make me want another sip. Like, yeah, it's light, it's crushable. The flavor intensity isn't crazy. It's not anything crazy for 4.2. It's what you would expect. But without the back end bitterness there, it's just, it's almost, thanks for stopping in. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm taking another sip. Not that it's super sweet up front. It's about what you would expect, maybe a little sweeter than your typical Pilsner. Problem being, without any kind of back end bitterness, there's nothing to dull that down. So it's you experience it longer than you want to, and then after the flavor has been there for a while, it gets old. It's you need something else there. And this one, having said that, this is not the style of Pilsner that I typically enjoy. And what I mean is this is kind of more what I would like to call like a girlfriend beer, or maybe like domestic drinkers would love this. Uh, Miller Lite drinker would absolutely love this. A Budweiser drinker would absolutely love this. The reason I call it a girlfriend beer is because there's nothing offensive. It's low flavor intensity, but the flavor that is there is sweet. There's no back end bitterness. There's no kind of dankness or anything. And it's something that anyone can enjoy, like someone who's not into craft beer or someone who came to the brewery with their boyfriend and asked the beer tender what tastes most like a Miller Lite here. Um, yeah, so I can see definitely domestic drinkers could enjoy this more than craft drinkers, and I've, said this before on streams that there's different types of lagers and pilsners, and that's just kind of what this comes off as. This is a girlfriend beer. This is a beer that someone who doesn't like craft beer could drink. Anyway, back to the beer. Yeah, I mean, there's like a little tiny bit of bitterness, but it's not even. It might even just be the the effervescence of it fading, and not an actual flavor. It could just be like an implication of bitterness. Um, yeah, I mean, that's all there is to it. Light on the palate, super crushable, um, low medium flavor intensity, sweet up front, nothing in the back. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is bjdrinksbeer and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Neck of the Woods, why don't you go, if you've had this one or anything else from Neck of the Woods, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe you have some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, you can find this one at Joe Canals in Marlton. Rating. Despite this not being the style of Pilsner that I'm into, I still, I still rate it for what it is. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5. A little back end bitterness would do wonders for this. As is, I wouldn't buy it, but I wouldn't complain if it was the only thing to drink. That's fair, right? 3 out of 5. And again, if you haven't had anything from Neck of the Woods, I definitely recommend you check out some of what they do. Oh yeah, that's all I got for this time, but I'll do that at the end. I honestly don't even think I'm going to save that one. I think I'm just going to dump it. I mean, it's not the worst. You know what I mean? 3 out of 5. It's not absolutely horrible or anything. It's just, I prefer just a little back end bitterness to break up that sweetness, and was just not getting it here. Yeah, it's almost got like a weird like fruitiness to it up front. And I know that's like false. I know there's like nothing that would produce that type of flavor, but yeah, almost have like a melon kind of. Yeah, but definitely, yeah, sweet, bready. Yeah, not my type of thing. But people would absolutely love this one, like I said. All right. I'm going to take a moment to use the restroom and set up the next beer. Um, guess we'll stick with the same song, right? Having fun with it. It's almost over though. Yeah, let me throw on something else. Okay. All right. All right. So our third and final beer of the stream, one could say our main event. This one is an amber ale, if I'm not mistaken, 5.4% amber lager. This one is called regular beer. Brewed to be enjoyed, not overthought. A clean, honest lager for regular people. We skipped the pomp and circumstances and focused on what matters. Great taste, simple, honest, and brewed to perfection. All right. See, now that would normally say I've had this before, so I kind of know what direction this is going in. But that would normally lead me to believe that this is another, you know, girlfriend beer. Um, but it's not, if I remember correctly. I don't know. Well, all right, let's get into it. Give you a look at the can. There's nothing interesting, so I don't even know why I'm doing this. I already showed you the only, visually stimulating thing on the can. As you can see, it is certainly amber. You know what? Let me get a light behind it. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a dark one. On the nose, you get kind of like a toffee caramel sweetness, like you would expect with the amber malt. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm getting. No sign of any kind of earthiness or dankness, but then again, with this style of beer, you wouldn't expect it. Let's give it a try. Yeah, this beer, this is very old. Actually, not very old, but I don't think this is how it is supposed to taste. It was canned in late February, which means it's about 6 months old, which means it should be reasonably in code. But you know, maybe that was just me. No, kind of like smoothed out. I don't know what that was. When I took the first sip, there was, the flavor that I expected to taste, which was, sweet up front, caramel, toffee, a little bit of breadiness, and then just kind of smooths out without a noticeable bitterness. But this, maybe it just took a second for my taste buds to catch up with what was going on. Yeah, this at first, like I got that minimal sweetness. I got the sweetness, but it was very minimal, and then I got like dankness on the back end, but it balanced itself out. Maybe the taste buds just acclimated. I don't know. Wow. Let me give it. ugh, Let me give it another try. Okay, yeah. Very sweet up front, but not cloyingly sweet. Very crushable. Nothing bitter on the back end. I don't know what that first sip was. That was weird. Nothing, honestly, like nothing offensive. It, doesn't have the intensity of some of the other similar style, some of the lagers of similar styles, other amber lagers, Viennas. Like it doesn't have the flavor intensity that I've had from other ones of those. But, but, um, but yeah, it does have, for 5.4%, it does have a very good intensity to it. Yeah, very smooth, easy drinking. It does have, I'm noticing now, it does have just a little bit of bitterness on the back end. And I guess that's kind of necessary just to offset it. But you're still left with a lingering sweetness after the sip. And the difference is with this one and the last one with the sweetness is that this one has a lot more, like the flavor that's left with you. That was just like a straight up bready sweetness. The flavor that's left with you with this one is a more rich, I don't know. I don't know. I had it and I lost it. But yeah, no, this one it's got like a lot more richness to it. It's a little bit I wouldn't say thicker. Yeah, it's a little richer. And so the flavorness that sticks with you, it's not just that one note sweetness. If that makes any sense at all, probably not. Very easy drinking, but not super crushable. Uh, pretty, I mean, medium thickness on the palate. And like I said, that sweetness, it's not cloying, it's not too sweet, but that sweetness doesn't really fade much from beginning to post sip. All right, I am struggling, so I'm just gonna wrap it up. Well, not wrap it up, but kind of tear through the rest. If you're enjoying this video or finding it helpful or informative, why don't you go ahead and drop a like? It helps with the algorithm and it makes me smile. While you're at it, why don't you give me a follow? My name is bjdrinksbeer and I'm on Instagram and YouTube. If you've had this one or anything else from Neck of the Woods, why don't you go ahead and leave a little something in the comments and tell me what you thought about it. This one sounds good, sounds interesting. Maybe it's something you might want to try. Maybe add some questions. Why don't you go ahead and leave them in the comments? If you would like to find this one, unfortunately, we do not currently carry this one at Joe Canals in Marlton, but I'm sure you can find it somewhere in South Jersey, maybe outside of South Jersey, who knows? I don't really shop many other places besides Joe Canals in Marlton, and we don't carry it there. Uh, but I'm sure if you really want it, you can find it at Neck of the Woods Brewery in Pittman, New Jersey. And like I said, I'm sure there's some liquor stores around that carry it. I just don't go to them. Oh, did I rate it? I didn't rate it. No, that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Oh, rating. 3.5 out of 5. This one, the rich, sweet maltiness, the the flavor from the amber malt. I've been a fan of. I've preferred that to the point where I just got sick of anything red. And so I'm out of that phase at this point, which is good because we're going into Martin season. But I don't know. I don't even know what I was saying. Excuse me. I definitely prefer this one to Joel's John over here. And go birds and everything. But yeah, I'm not really blown away by Joel's John. This one, a little bit better, but again, this isn't something that I would pick up a six pack of, but at the same time, if it was the only thing there to drink, I wouldn't complain. Um, I off camera a week or two ago, I had no, no, I'm thinking of something else. Never mind. Yeah. No. Anyway, if you haven't been to Neck of the Woods Brewery in Pittman, New Jersey, I definitely recommend you check that out. I was only there for like 20 minutes, but it was like I could see the potential. I could see that it was a good time, and I wanted to try so many of the beers, but I had time for one. So yeah, go ahead and check that out, and you can find them in any respectable liquor store in South Jersey. Um, no matter what you like, I'm sure you can find something from them that'll suit your style, and you will absolutely enjoy it. Anyway, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I'm uh, fading fast over here. I think I need a nap. Um, yeah, that Frankie card I really enjoyed. The Jolly John, kind of what I expected. And I've had this before, so I know what to expect. And honestly, like, I want to take it easy on the red stuff because I enjoy it, but I get real sick of it real fast. And like I said, we have Oktoberfest season coming up, so have some plans that I don't want to ruin for myself. Um, yeah. Well, everyone have a wonderful rest of your Saturday or whatever day it is that you're watching this. And I'm gonna try. I'm going to see. I'm going to succeed in. Okay, don't quote me. I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure I can do a stream tomorrow that will be exclusively not beer. That will be THC beverages as well as I have a mushroom tea. So we'll see how that goes. And I don't know if BJ and DG Talks Wrestling episode number 81 is going to be happening tomorrow as it should, but um in fact I'm like 98% that it's not going to happen. But there might be something on that channel in its place. Either way, um Sunday, Monday, we got, and this is just if you're a wrestling fan. We have the Monday Night Raw after show featuring myself and the Danger Ginger, where we watch Raw and then talk about what just happened. And then Tuesday, the highlight of my week every week, BJ and DG Talks Wrestling presents Indie Spotlight, where we talk about indie wrestling and I sit here and drink a lot of beer and we interview some local indie wrestlers and some stars and it's a really good time. So if you haven't seen that, even if you're not a wrestling fan, you should check it out just for the interaction. Um, Pete, our interview specialist, he is just a hilarious guy and Ginger has a couple good zingers in there too every once in a while, and y'all know me. But yeah, everybody have a safe and wonderful rest of your day. And if everything goes well, see you tomorrow. But if not, I don't know when the next time I'll be doing anything on this channel is. But I do have something. You know what? If I say it now, I have to do it. From September 19th till October 4th, every day on this YouTube channel right here, I will be doing a live stream trying a different Oktoberfest style beer. Um, the 19th until the 4th is the official Oktoberfest season, and that's going to include me on location from various places. Maybe not various, we'll see where I can get out to. but it will include Martins, Fest beers, and there's a couple NA Oktoberfests out there that I'm going to be trying. It's going to be silly, but yeah, all right, maybe I won't do the NAs. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, so you know, hopefully it's not another almost month before I do another beer stream, but honestly, I don't think there's a lot of stuff that's going to be taking up my weekend. So, and you know what, I might even just pop up randomly on a Monday or a Wednesday here and there. So, you know what, just click that little bell thing so anytime I schedule a live, you are notified. And yeah, without any further doo-doo, that's all I've got for this time. Until next time, cheers.